everybody. Thank you so much for getting an aura reading from me, and thank you for your patience. I'm sorry it took me some days. There were 19 of you, and I had to channel, I had to talk to spirits, I had to do all this stuff. So I really am so thankful that you've been patient with me. I do hope that it's worth the wait and that you enjoy what I have to say about it. If you look below, I do have a Google Drive link that I uploaded the photos of these, so you can see them a little bit better. You know, I admittedly do not have the best camera, so hopefully it looks a bit more high res there on the Google Drive link. It's there for you to enjoy if you want to keep it. Now, without further ado, please remember that our auras do change depending on how we feel, and how we feel may feel different all the time. Though I will say there are some constants there, and this is my own personal interpretation. I'm sure there are other psychics that see other colors, but this is what I saw, and I did my best to be as authentic and as honest as I could. Alright, your timestamps are in the description below, and I'll see you there. Thank you again. Hi Ocean, nice to see you. Thank you for getting an aura reading from me. I do have a little aura reading cheat sheet if you want to follow along. And I didn't reference this at all. I didn't. I just drew what I saw, and I'll break it down for you. So I did see 4 guides in your space. You can have more, you can have, you can have less. This is just the spirits that I saw around you. They didn't quite show me the entirety of their form. And a lot of times I'll use like yellows, I'll use oranges to kind of denote that, oh, there's just a spirit around. But yeah, I was feeling more so they were on the golden end of the spectrum, on the yellowy end. So as you can see here, wisdom, leadership, maturity. It also means joy, intellect, and optimism. Very positive spirits, in my humble opinion. We also have some blue, and this is about being very thoughtful. You'll notice it's the turquoise, empathy, healing, speech, creativity, and flow. And it's a little bit of this. Ooh, I wish I had it here. I guess it's more of like a violet, higher consciousness, awakening, and connection. You may be wanting to learn more about your spiritual gifts. Maybe you're trying to connect to your spirit side in general more, and I felt like that was really being honed in right now. Now you also have green, and green, healing, growth, balance, harmony. Greens are known to be very empathetic, very heart-centered people, and some yellow, and you wanting to express yourself, you wanting to grow into your talents and stuff like that. That's all that means. I did take some notes for you, and I'll read them out loud. We have exploring our self-expression and identity, and wearing new/different clothing, aware of walk/posture, and careful with word choices. So trying to be more particular about how you speak to people, the tone you use, the faces you're making, stuff like that. And ideally, I see you caring more about the way that you dress and the way you hold yourself. And it's really nice. I think this is you understanding that you're not meant to hide. I think you're coming out of your shell a little bit more. And if it's not clothing, this is just what I was kind of picking up energetically. It could mean that you're figuring out how you want to present yourself just socially speaking. So on social media, how you describe yourself to people, what pictures you're taking, what you're sharing with people online, stuff like that. We also have inherent healing presence, and I wrote that here. That was one of the very first things that one of your guides told me. And it says soft inner glow, appreciation for the small things in life. And I also wrote, guides ask that you value time alone with more awareness, intention, and presence, aka no phone, no distractions, and to connect to nature and spirit more. They want you to leave your phone at home. I know that's something you'll hear a lot of spiritual people say, but it is important. It is. I think leaving your phone at home and just going into your backyard, or going to, driving yourself to the park and leaving your phone in the car while you're roaming around as well can also help. So I don't know, maybe there's a special place that you have. I have a special place that I grew up around that I love to connect to, and it feels the same. Alrighty, that's what I have, Ocean. I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you're endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Later. Hi, Laviitz. Oh my goodness, you are going through inner transformations. Lots of blues, lots of deep blues, deep purples. And I always see that some people are in their Scorpio arc. So this is about change. This is about letting go and trying to mature, be for the better, surround yourself with people that actually help you. I was kind of getting this energy of somebody really talking in your ear, trying to give you a lot of advice. They might even come off a bit controlling at times, like you might perceive it that way. I don't think that they mean poorly. Like, they didn't seem malicious, but they did just seem be in your ear. So, it's possible, it could be other things. Maybe somebody's talking about you, but to me, it sounds like you're listening to them. We also have a guide coming in. This guide is really protecting your energy, making sure that you have opportunity to live in positivity. If you've been feeling a little bit low, a little bit sad and stuff like that, it's important that you cry and let it out, because there is some energy here in your chest. I took a few notes. It says inner transformation, consciously aware and shift of perspective, and heart awakening and transformation. So anytime you feel a lot of energy and pain or sadness, anything like that in your chest area, feel it. Feeling is healing, and this is what's going to help bring space in for new change and new things, new blessings and stuff like that. And I do think you're being geared up in that direction. Also, I forgot to mention, I do have an aura cheat sheet on my Ko-fi if you want to follow along. It doesn't cost anything, it's free. But I brought this out just in case I needed my own little reference. I didn't reference this in the reading, I drew what I saw, and if there's something I want to touch on, it'll be right here, but I think I got it. We also have conserving energy. Stepping into new timelines/eras, easily overstimulated and empathetic. That's what I was talking about. Your heart space being very activated. You're probably absorbing a lot right now. And your guide said this. They said, surround yourself with joyous individuals. You're doing a good job as is. Feel the light and let it uncover your truth. I wonder who this is. I don't want to say that they're malicious, because I didn't get that. I got that they have a lot to say in your ear is all, and it might make you feel a bit demoralized, but I don't think that you hate them either. I hope that helped you, Laviitz. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Hey, Yoonie, how are you? I have your little aura reading for you, and like I said in the beginning, the picture of it is up on the Google Drive link. I also have a free aura cheat sheet if you want to see what the colors mean. Obviously, there's more nuance to each of the colors, which is why I took some notes for everybody, and let's get into it. So number one, your guides were very colorful. Sometimes, and I'll give you an example, like with Ocean, they weren't showing me too many colors. They were just like, we're here, we're here, we're here. We're not malicious or anything, but I saw 4 coming in, and they have very specific purposes, and I think that they all sort of support where the other lacks. It's really nice. We had 2 over here that are pink. Now, pink doesn't necessarily mean that they're women, right? It just means that they're youthful. It just means that they're very sweet, very kind, very warm individuals. And we also have a blue. Now, blues are often our protectors, okay? So I have here, it means communication, truth, calm, and expression. But I noticed I put in some dark blue, so responsibility, loyalty, and inner strength. You also had some blue in your energy, especially around the head. And it says empathy, healing speech, and creative flow. I feel that you are very kind with your words. A lot of times when I see people with this blue around their head, especially if it's the very first color to come through, they have a very pretty voice. Very pretty voice. Very rarely do you speak poorly about people. And if you do, it doesn't come from a malicious space. It comes from a I want better for them, or I want better for me sort of space. Now, there was some energy here. Now, red can mean passion, drive, survival, and vitality, that sort of stuff. And I was feeling it really, really much so in the body. Now, this is from the 4th, but it felt like we had this sort of antsiness in our energy, building up, swelling up inside of you. Maybe you've been feeling it more, a bit agitated. Maybe you're feeling a bit overstimulated more than usual. All that is there to do is to push you towards more creativity, okay? I see more energy coming towards you that says that I want to be seen more, I want to be heard more, I want to be respected more. Not a bad thing. It's just sometimes if it builds up, if it clogs up our energy, it can make us quite frustrated. So be careful with that if you do struggle with anger. I don't think you do. You have a lot of green around you. Green is healing, it's balance, it's harmony, stuff like that. Let's read some notes that I took. So your guide said, we have fun plans for you. I haven't read this, so this is from a few days ago. That's fun. And I saw the tower. The tower means an upheaval. It means something crashing down, coming to an end. It doesn't have to be bad, but it is always necessary and a bit uncomfortable. And then we have the sun, and this is clarity and optimism. So be wary. Something might be crashing around you, or maybe it will in the future. Just, have your eyes open. It'll help you see what you couldn't before. It'll make you feel more optimistic, like, oh, that's why this wasn't working, or oh my gosh, that's how they really felt, that sort of stuff. We also have large directional shifts towards a better path. I also wrote wholesome friendship, warmth, and kindness. Oh yeah, that's them. Very wholesome, very sweet. And activated anxiety/nervousness needs relaxation/rest, downtime. A bit stimulated, that's okay. And your energy, bright, cheery, thoughtful, optimistic for others, and needs a bit more optimism in their own life. And they're making way for that, don't you worry. Okay, that's what I have, Yoonie. I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you're endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Thank you, Yoonie. See ya. Hey, Manari, how are you? It's good to see you back. Thank you for supporting me, and I hope that you're doing well. And I messaged you about taking you out of my work server. I'm so sorry. I hope you don't take that personally. I really didn't mean anything by it. I'm starting to do some really secreted stuff, and I'm having people sign NDAs and stuff. And so, anyways, I hope you understand. I really do. Okay. We're into your aura reading, and I was seeing very fun colors for you. Very fun. I thought it was one of the most unique that I've had in my batch, and it was lovely to see. I thought it was beautiful. And we have some purples. As you know, purples mean higher consciousness, awakening, and connection, as well as intuition and psychic awareness, stuff like that. You're very active spiritually. And I know this about you. I know you're very interested in spirituality. I know that you're very interested in doing the sort of work that I'm doing, which I'm very excited to see you start doing. I think it'll be very healthy for you. And I feel like you're getting a lot of downloads, receiving a lot of communication and answers to stuff. Even if you question it at times, even if sometimes you need validation, just know like you're right on the money for a lot of things. And it's really nice to see that reflected in our aura, isn't it? We also have some turquoise. Turquoise means empathy, healing, speech, creativity, and flow. I see you talking to yourself more. I wouldn't be surprised if you're, going about your day and saying good things, or if you're looking in the mirror and you're talking to yourself, having conversations. Feels well-intentioned because we had some really pretty greens as well. Now, green means healing, growth, balance, and harmony. I do think that you're still doing some inner healing, especially when it comes to like confidence, when it comes to feeling, what's the word? How do I explain this? I want to say acceptance, but that's not quite the word. Feeling like you are, there it is, belonging. Belonging, there it is. There's a feeling of belonging that I think that you're searching for deeply right now. And that is, it's in your field, you're attracting it towards you. That's why I was doing this. I personally saw, at least that's what my guys told me, that this is a manifestation coming towards us. And I think that they just wanted to show me visually that that is coming towards you, that sense of belonging. So that's very comforting, isn't it? Oh my gosh, I didn't even take any notes. I took notes, but inner transformation, I guess that was the biggest thing. And yeah, that's what look at that open crown chakra. Look at that open crown chakra. And by the way, I wanted to mention, very happy to see you coming in to the community nights and being so active. And I can tell that it's really good for you, and you've been so sweet. You've been such a kind person to have around, and I'm excited to see where you'll go, especially with an aura like this. Okay. Thank you, Manari. And if you want to look up the colors, as you know, I do have that cheat sheet there and the photos uploaded to the Google Drive. I'll see you later. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Bye-bye. Hi, Hiiwoh. How are you? Thank you for coming. And thank you for getting an aura reading from me. I know I took forever. I took forever. Sorry about that, but I do hope you like it. I really mean it. from the bottom of my heart. So I saw a lot of blue around you, which I don't know why. I feel like we've looked into your aura before. I can't quite remember, but yeah, blue was very prominent. And we have responsibility, loyalty, and inner strength. So this is you knowing who you are, knowing the person that you want to be, and living by it, acting on it, expressing it authentically. And I feel it's really good for you. I think that you're showing up for people that you love. You know, there's this feeling of, I know how I want to impact my friends and my family. You're probably very connected to the energy of Mother's Day. I don't know why, that just came in. Maybe you have a deep connection with your mother, or maybe you want to be a mother. There's something about Mother's Day. Maybe something's going to come in for you. I'm not sure. I did take notes. I don't remember them, but I did take notes. We'll look at them in a moment. I saw some yellow as well. Yellow is joy, intellect, optimism, and clarity. You're highly, highly intelligent, whether people know it or not. And I was getting, this is your spirit. You know, sometimes, as you can tell, a lot of other people's stuff, I'll see their guides. But for you, I was getting you connecting to your own spirit in some way, some manner. So let's see what I wrote. Because I was definitely in a moment. Might not feel like it, but she's very close to her spirit / higher self. Letting go of confusion. Ooh, 8 of Cups. Choosing to just trust in the universe and trust the timing. Connecting to water / the color blue. And water is known to be very feminine, sometimes quite maternal, which is why I really love the Queen of Cups. She's known as a motherly figure who's unconditionally loving. And I was getting that energy around you. Very watery energy. Maybe you have prominent Cancer signs, or maybe you're just feeling connected to your, connected to that emotional side of you, but it feels good nonetheless. Now notice around the inner side of you we have some green. This is healing. There's some heart healing happening. I do think it is centered around femininity. So if you had any issues like with hormones, I'm not a doctor by the way, but if you had any issues with hormones or feelings of safety and security, there is something about that's like Mother's Day season. I don't know why it keeps coming up. That was important. I didn't bring this up for anyone else. So I'm just gonna say that and I'll leave it there. Thank you very much, Hiiwoh. I hope that you liked it. I do. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, Tay, what's up? What's up? I hope you've been doing well. We're going to do your aura reading for you. Thank you so much for supporting me. As usual, you've always been very kind to me, and thank you for being patient. I hope that's worth the wait, and I mean that. All right, so as you can see, lots of green. And I have a feeling I don't know why, I feel like I've done your reading before, like your aura. Maybe I've just seen it in your other readings, but so green, so green. And green means healing, growth, balance, harmony, very healing presence. I think people know that they can feel safe around you. It's possible that especially very hurt people get triggered, when people who are healing come into their field, they can often act sort of like a scared animal. If you've experienced that, that's why, okay? But I think that you mean well, and I think that you genuinely want to help others all the time. It's very sweet. Now, we had some stimulation happening here in the head area, and it's purple. Purple is intuition, spirituality, psychic awareness, very 8th house, very Scorpio energy. And so you may be finding that your spiritual beliefs are shifting, that you are expanding your consciousness in some way, some manner. So you're able to hear certain things more, maybe you're seeing things more, or maybe you're having more of an interest in this sort of things, especially in regards to your gifts. Your throat chakra was very activated. Okay, so throat chakra is all about our truth, the way that we speak, but it's also our truth, what we perceive to be honest and truthful to us. And so, yeah, there's like, I want to know more. I want to have a deeper awareness, a deeper understanding on these subjects, especially when it comes to my purpose. And oh my goodness, all of these green spirit guides and this blue one, your purpose is to heal people. Okay, I know, I don't want to say like that's your only purpose. Your purpose is anything you want it to be. And anything you choose it to be at any moment, at any time. I actually think like just saying right off the bat, this is your purpose, this is why you're here, is kind of, to be honest, I retract that. It's anything you want it to be. But it feels like we're stepping up, we're stepping into that helpful energy of genuinely being a guiding light for others around us, and I like it. I feel like you're the person that listens to everyone. You might notice that you have this like urge to clean for people, feed people, give medicine to people, this sort of stuff. Very Virgoan in the energy. Okay, now let's see what I wrote. Oh yeah, I wrote. I don't remember what I said, but I'm channeling what I'm channeling. So this is from May 4th, and it says, question mark, choked up on something needs to come out. Buzzing, pressure around the scalp, needs more deep sleep. Oh yes, that's right. That's right. One of your guides was very adamant about you sleeping deeply, okay? Going into that, what is it called? Beta? The beta sleep, where it's just, you know, our body gets the most healing. That's very important. This is from the 4th. I hope that you gotten some of that. And oh, they wrote specifically to connect to spirit, to go back into spirit. We also have rainbow / clover symbols, the Magician, the 8 of Cups, and Temperance. If you read tarot, you might see these a lot. The Magician is all about manifestation, all about controlling your energy. The 8 of Cups is letting go and moving into the unknown, moving into a state of trust and having more balance in our life. Something you are manifesting is already set in motion. You will see it come in 3 months' time. Do not force it. Just continue with ease. Just continue with ease. Excuse me, by the way. Yeah, I remember this now. I remember them saying that, and yeah, you might be yeah, you might. Goodness. Sorry, I was just told something. I want to tell you something. So, and it's very similar. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is because, well, I can't show you because I'll just show you like my recording thing. But basically, I made a post on Twitter and it did not good. Like, I think it only got maybe, I say not good, but not good in how I've been doing prior. I think it only got maybe 50, 70 likes, which is not the best for a raw tweet. But I was happy because I thought it was cute. I wanted to share it. It was a droplet meme. And so I kept it up. And sometimes I do delete tweets that don't perform well so I can post them again later. Don't tell anybody. Anyways. My friend liked it, and later that friend came to me and she offered me a business opportunity. And what I'm trying to get here is, it's not that I thought that I wasn't doing well, but it saw the right person, and that was the important part. It didn't see a lot of people, but it saw the right person. And so there's something that you're gonna do, or no, there's something that you have done, that you have said, that you have put out into the universe, that you may assume, you know, nothing's gonna come about that. But lo and behold, it reached the right ears, and that's what I was feeling. So I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much, Tay. I hope that you like that. I really do. And good luck with everything you are endeavoring. Remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See ya. Hey Castor, what's up? What's up? How are you? I hope that you're doing well. Thank you for getting an aura reading for me, and thank you for your patience. I'm pretty sure I've done one for you before. I am not positive, but I feel like we've looked into this before. We had three guides come through, and just like us, our guides can change colors. What I was seeing is somebody who's trying really hard to speak more confidence into your energy. And then another one is just kind of there to support the feeling. Support the feeling of being more optimistic, being more joyous. Now, I actually already think that you are quite funny and kind and optimistic, but I wonder if at times we don't allow that energy to ourselves. I don't know why. I was getting that. I was also sort of getting some pressure in the jaw, I remember. But other than that, let's see what I wrote in the notes. I said craving stability craving / needing stability. So a feeling of, I know where I'm going, I know direction, I know what my goals are, I feel like I can achieve them. That's what it was. I remember, and that's why I drew this. I didn't actually see this in your energy. I think I just drew that, so we're manifesting. Loving, giving, generous, and helpful is how I was feeling about you. Also witty, notice the witty is in big letters. And into and intelligent, values directness in individuals, strong discernment. I saw, oh, and then I did a little bit of a divination as well. We had the Ace of Cups and the King of Wands. Someone who's been avoiding you is going to reach out. It's important you don't let them disrespect your energy. Do not respond. You only need to please yourself. And yeah, I don't know why. There's like some pain. Maybe that's where you stim. Maybe you grind your teeth. Or yeah, there's pressure in the jaw. Pressure in the jaw. I don't know. I don't know what that's about, but that's what I was feeling. Yup. I don't know what else to say. That's what I saw in your aura. Watch out for somebody, watch out for somebody that might disrespect you, especially if there's someone that you sort of left in the past. I don't want to say it's an ex. It doesn't have to be. It can be someone in our family, someone in our community, whomever it is. Spirit was very adamant of you just ignoring it. It doesn't matter. Just kind of leave them on red and leave it be. Or maybe block them if you can. I think that you've moved on. I think that you have put yourself in a better position in your life, and you're not responsible for where they are. And so, don't feel like you have to save everyone, because I know you got that big heart going on. Okay, that's what I have, Castor. I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone, and you are loved. See you later. Hi, Kitless. How are you? I feel like I've done your aura before too, but let's do a little energy update for you. Number 1, so sweet, so kind, so caring. And I wouldn't be surprised if I said that before. I didn't get too much green in people's energy, but yours was very green, and in fact, that's their most prominent color. This is healing, growth, balance, harmony, very Virgoan in its energy. So Virgoans really care about making sure that everyone is feeling safe, everyone is secure, very kind. Now, I was getting this sort of frustration feeling bubbling up inside of us, and it's coming from a very divine place. Notice that we have this aura, this little bubble spirit, a spirit here as a light bulb. That's how I draw our guides. This is a fast way to denote that they're present. And yeah, they came through. They were very protective, and I think that they were trying to tell you to step up for yourself more, to speak up for yourself more, to put yourself out there more. And so if you're feeling any stress, if you're feeling any energy of, man, I don't like where I am, or I don't like this feeling, it's coming from a place of, I want to catalyze change. At least that's what your spirit guide was telling me. Now, we also had some turquoise, and this is empathy, healing, speech, creativity, and flow, which, by the way, just a reminder, if you want to see a more high-res version of this, I just took the picture of my phone. It is uploaded on the Google Drive, and I have an aura cheat sheet on the Ko-fi that's free if you want to follow along. But I took some notes as well, and I'll be honest, they had some messages for you that are here to help you. So take it with a grain of salt. You don't have to accept it. I could be wrong. I've been wrong before. But this is what they said. They said, greatly inspired and creative, just needs the discipline to act on it. Support system, needs support system from friends, family, in their ideas. Quote, I'm not going to say anything they won't understand, unquote. Soft, but when opportunity arises, very witty and funny. Deep healing needed from rejection wounds. And I was also feeling that maybe when a lot of eyes are on us, maybe when there's a lot of people looking at us, it can make us feel too pressured. It's like sort of a fear of, what's it called? Like a fear of being perceived, but that's not the energy. Because you have this inner leader inside of you, and this is what I'm trying to say. This is what I'm trying to share with you. This is what your spirit guide was trying to say to me too. That there's this inner leader. There's this person who's very direct and very good at organization and wonderful at making everyone feel seen and heard, and all this energy. It just needs to come out of us a bit more. You're probably afraid of stepping on somebody's toes, or maybe you're afraid of coming off too strong, but I think you have very strong leadership skills, and I can't wait to see those develop and unfold, and I think that's what you're in the midst of right now. And yeah, very, very protective guide. All right, Kitless, that's what I have. I hope that you like that. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone, and you are Loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Vyla, hi! Thank you very much for getting an aura reading from me. Thank you for being so sweet and so patient. I hope that you enjoy it, and I've got some stuff to say. First of all, very colorful, very expansive. I'm seeing you wanting to be seen more. I'm seeing you pushing your aura out more. I don't know. I will say this, and I'm just picking up on this. I don't know why. I think I did look you up earlier. I think you are a streamer. Wait, no, you totally are. I remember. Sorry. I think you are a streamer. I think you're a content creator. And what I was hearing from one of your spirits while I was doing the reading was the more you push yourself in your IRL life to be seen more, to be heard more, to get out and get like experience and stuff like that, the more you're gonna have to offer to your creative experience online. And so I just wanted to mention that right off the bat. Other than that, I think that you have a lot of gifts that you're still unraveling, still awakening, because we did have some violet. Violet means higher consciousness, awakening, stuff like that, connecting to your intuition. And that was very stimulated. You know, maybe you're into divination, maybe you're into using a pendulum or runes, anything like that, and that was coming through. And I love to see that in my community. I'm like, hell yeah, they're finding me. They're finding me. I was also getting blue. And it's a dark blue. It says responsibility, loyalty, and inner strength. Now the flip side is everything here also has a negative side to it as well. So be careful, because sometimes blues can be, how do I say, stubborn. It's my way or the highway. But it's hard, especially when your intuition is so on point. You're like, but I know this is the right way. Sometimes we just gotta let people make their own mistakes, because you have this very healing energy to you and very optimistic and bright, and that can make some people uncomfortable at times, but that's okay. Those aren't your people. Now, a lot of ambition swelling inside of you. We had some red, so this is passion, this is drive. Think Mars energy. You have a very colorful, it was just so colorful. Very saturated. I wouldn't be surprised if you're youthful. Are you youthful? Are you optimistic? Because it's showing. It's showing. A lot of people that are young have high energy, and their auras are very bright. So, okay. Other than that, let's see what I wrote. I took some notes. I don't remember them, to be honest. I was just sharing with you what I was feeling from what I was seeing. This is from the 5th. And by the way, I did take a picture of your aura if you wanna see it in high res. And I do have this aura cheat sheet over on my Ko-fi. You wanna check that out? But nonetheless, it says beautiful voice. That's right. They were saying that. Beautiful voice, talented with sound, loves music, very thoughtful. Draws to the color blue, passion and ambition, swelling in the heart center, fame and power. That's right, young. Page of Cups, it's only the beginning, and the star. They were showing me the star in regards to it's only the beginning. And just so you know, the star does represent being seen, being noticed, being appreciated for your talents, being in the limelight, stuff like that. So you will have your moment where you're like, yes, people are finally seeing me, and I think it will be very well rewarded. Now, this is in the future, and just remember, as with all things are rewarded with patience and hard work and consistency. I think you have all the right juices to do that. Just remember to be, like I mentioned before, consistent, and you'll be right as rain. So bright, so bright. Most saturated aura in the bunch for sure. Okay, thank you, Vyla. Thank you. I hope that you enjoyed it. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone. You are loved. I'll see you later. Bye bye. Hi, Sona. Thank you for getting an aura reading for me, and thank you for your patience. Thank you, you're so sweet. I hope that you like it. If you want to see a high-res version, I did upload all of the aura readings over on the Google Drive. And if you want to follow along with the colors, I have a cheat sheet for all the positive meanings for the aura colors. So that's there. That's free for you in the learning materials section. And let's get into it. So you had something very unique, very unique, where I had noticed that your aura was really facing this direction. It was like it was being dragged towards the future. At least that's what it was feeling like to me. Like we're focusing more on what could be. We're focusing more on, we're focusing more on where we're going. Maybe you have a vacation coming up, or maybe you're excited about school, but there's a lot of thoughts, feelings, emotions that say, things are gonna be better soon because I have this incoming, or because oh my goodness, and then I drop everything because I have something coming in for me. And I like it. It feels exciting. It feels positive. It feels, as you can see here, we have creativity, pleasure, confidence, and fun. You just know it's going to be a better time for you. Maybe you've had a pretty bad year. I don't want to assume anything, but this blue here in the past makes me feel personally like we maybe didn't have the best year, or maybe we didn't have the best school year, something like that. If it doesn't have to do anything with school, like let's say you're out of school, maybe they just had some negativity in our past, and we're finally starting to put a good foot in front of us where we're going more towards fun and joy, and I like it. Feels intentional, feels good. Now, notice how we have some purple happening here, and I've been seeing this a lot in people's energy recently. You're, out of the 19 that I did, I would say that you're probably the, I think there's only like maybe 3 or 4 of you, but it was common enough, and so I wonder if there's just something in the season. It was very 8th house, and so this is inner transformation. This is an energy of I'm going towards something new. I'm letting go of the old. I'm pushing myself out of this energy, and I'm very thoughtfully and intentionally going towards something better for me. And sometimes we do it kicking and screaming. I saw one person, they had the tower. He didn't have anything like that show up, which is really nice. And yeah, I wanted to mention it. I had to take a few notes as well. So urgency to create, deep feeling to take action, set things in motion. Impulsiveness for positivity. Careful of acting. Oh yeah, they told me to be careful about acting or speaking before you think, because we could maybe, I don't want to say you're gonna hurt anybody's feelings, but it reminds me of not having a filter, you know what I mean? Says, yeah, here we go. Says random / unfiltered thoughts, but well intentioned. Urge to mask, learning to balance politeness and genuine feelings. Tendency to play small, but destined to be center of attention. Learn to be okay with attention. And then at the end here, we have trapped energy in neck, throat chakra, deep sighing, need for more air, and dizziness. Yeah, that's right. There was energy here. I forgot to mention that. Sorry, I did this on, that's right, I did 2 yours yesterday. So if you've noticed that you're like, it could be that we have some energy here that we need to get out. Maybe you need to be around people that actually listen to you, that have the same energy of excitement as you, stuff like that. That's all that means. Not to say like you're gonna choke or anything like that, but that was a feeling. Okay, all right, I'm gonna leave it there. Thank you very much, Sona. I hope that made sense. I feel like I kind of rambled on a bit there. But thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, Aashna. Thank you so much for getting an aura reading from me. And once again, thank you for your patience. I apologize. It took me some days. I had a lot to do, but I'm really excited to get to them. Okay. All right, let's get into it, shall we? So, number 1, you had a guide coming in, and they were sending you a lot of energy, a lot of inspiration. Notice how it's orange. Orange is about creativity, pleasure, confidence, and fun. Think sun energy if you're into tarot. And so you may have this like feeling of, I want to get out more. I want to see the sun more. I want to travel. I want to go do things. That's coming from them. And so they might be reminding you of old vacations. They might be reminding you of a time when you had a bit more freedom about you. If you're feeling held back by that, maybe it could have to do with your health or your body, or even mental health, stuff like that. Getting yourself out there, just going for it, is going to do you a lot of good, is what they were telling me. Now, lots of green, lots of blue, and notice how it has this very unique sort of stimulation about it. You might be overexerting yourself just to keep the peace, Maybe you do a lot for others, maybe you have kids, whatever the case is, you're really pushing yourself to the limit to be kind, to be healing, to be warm, and to be present. And that's not necessarily the worst quality, it makes you a very good friend, a very good family member, a very, whatever it is, a partner, stuff like that. But once again, I think it's time for a vacation. I think it's time for a little bit of break. Allow some people to help you when you can. Now, we do have pink, and pink is about love, sweetness, compassion, and romance. But what I've noticed, especially for pink on the outside, it has a sort of like youthfulness, a tenderness to it. I think that you connect to the youth like you connect to children and more. It's funny how I keep mentioning kids. It's okay if you don't have kids, by the way. But there is that sort of like, you might look younger. You might look younger than you actually are. Or people might be shocked when you tell them how old you are. Stuff like that. You might be very up to date and hip with it, you know. That sort of stuff, and that's what that pink means on the outside, that sort of glow that we radiate. Now, I did take some notes. I took some notes while I was channeling this, and it says, always assumes the best in others until proven wrong. Overextending energy to maintain a sense of peace and worthiness. Quote, prove your worth caring for. So careful with that. I know that's a deep wound that a lot of us have. And, oh, which, by the way, I did your reading, I believe on the 5th? Yes, you're my last reading on the 5th I did. And I had crazy dreams about what I'm about to tell you. It said, you have a guide sending you constant reminders of a dream, talent, or goal you've set aside. The Chariot. Listen for, look for symbols of trains. It's time to get on the train. Big opportunity coming, and some symbols for you to pay attention to are bees, dandelions, and clover flowers. Okay, all right, that's what I have. I hope that you like that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Thank you, Aashna. See you later. Hey Tyranness, it was nice to see you. Thank you so much for supporting me and getting a reading from me. I hope that you like it, and I appreciate your patience. We are gonna do your reading, your reading. If you'd like to follow along, I do have your picture uploaded in high res over on the Google Doc, and I also have a free cheat sheet that has all the aura colors that I have here. Now, I did take some notes. I didn't peek beforehand. I should have, maybe, probably. I wrote this as I was doing your reading. It says, always looking to improve, often hypercritical / perfectionist, but genuinely wants to grow and learn more. Deep loyalty and committed to friendships / relationships. Respectful and kind to others. Oh yeah, the guides, 2 blues, protector and a guide, and 1 pink, very motherly energy. And oh, that's right, it reminded me of Glinda. I don't know why, like they were definitely older, like they're grown, but they had a very like sweetie, kind energy, sort of. I would say kind of like Aphrodite, but younger, more youthful. I don't know how else to put it. It reminded me of Glinda, is how I wrote it down. I also said I was seeing the hermits, and as well as turtles. And it says, don't be afraid of rejection. Taking risks will improve your life. You are safe. So if you notice that you're trying to keep yourself secure, if you're trying to really hold yourself up at times because you're afraid of being told no, like for example, let's say you really want to collab with someone, you really want to work with somebody, but you're like, but I need this, I need to do that first, I need to have these numbers, I need to have this new model, I need da-da-da-da-da before I can even do that. No, you don't have to wait until then. And even if they do say no, they do say rejection is protection, but also ask again later. You know, give it a good like 4 months, try again. I think there's nothing wrong with that. Tyranness, I liked your aura. I think that you're very ambitious. I think you are, inside of you, you're very confident. Whether people know it or not, you know what you're meant for, and you're exploring that, and you're pushing that out of you, and you're seeing results, and I'm really proud of you. Now, beautiful voice, beautiful voice. I've heard it before, and that was reflected in your aura. Anytime I see the blue coming out of the head area, it means that we're speaking our truth. Turquoise says empathy, healing speech, creativity, and flow. And so very good conversationalist, very good at having a stage presence. It's a really nice aura. It's very good. Okay, that's what I have, Tyranness. I hope that you like that. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. Thank you. I'll see you later. Bye-bye. Hey Anna, thank you for coming in. I appreciate you trusting me with your reading, and I do hope it's a good experience, a positive one. We're gonna talk about the colors and all that stuff, so if you want to follow along around. I do have a cheat sheet on the Ko-fi that has everything on it. I'll make sure to link it here below. I also took a high-res picture of everyone's aura, so if you want to follow along there, it looks a bit better than my kind of bad camera. So without further ado, let's talk about what I saw. Number one, let's go lucky girl syndrome. Okay, you might notice that things are really falling into place with you. Especially right now, we have two guides very present, and also you connected to your higher self. So whenever I see this, especially the big orb, it means that we are living in a place of passion. We're starting to realize what it means to love ourselves and how that self-love pours back into us. And so that's why I think you may be experiencing more luck and more optimism, more joy. You might notice more people are smiling around you. You're smiling a little bit more. It's really good. Now, I don't know if you're single or in a relationship, but I don't know. So I just feel like bringing that energy up. I think that you really need somebody to show up for you the way that you show up for them. I don't know, it could have to do with friendships. That just randomly popped into my mind. You know, I may be wrong, but look forward to that, because I think that is coming in, especially with all this lucky girl syndrome. So this is somebody giving you that gift that you mentioned on a brief shopping trip. Okay, this is somebody taking you out to eat at your favorite restaurant. This is somebody really touching your heart, and I think you deserve it. I think you need it. It's really nice. Okay, I also took some notes. And I wrote down, and this is while I was doing your reading, untapped gifts. So there are still things for you to uncover, which is exciting. Powerful dream state precognition. You might have a lot of deja vu happening, and if it's not happening now, it definitely will later, especially with this. Oh my goodness, especially with this. And also you had a very activated crown chakra with the violet. So this is higher consciousness, this is awakening, this is connection and our intuition, stuff like that. You also have very active and present guides, protective, healing, energetic, and intelligent. Notice how all speed ahead, they're saying, in my opinion, protecting you, giving you good vibes, and also helping you discern things right now. Also, you are seeing people in your dreams. If you're a dreamer, some people don't remember their dreams, but if you are seeing people you've never met, those are your guides, okay? Now, all right, we also have, I saw the Ace of Cups, the Fool, the Ace of Wands, the Fool, and the Ace of Cups. An idea you've been sitting on will propel you towards a new path. Someone younger than you needs your wisdom. Yeah, I wonder if that has to do with someone like showing up for you. I remember seeing that too. Maybe that already happened because this is the 5th, but I think there is someone younger than you who might open up to you soon, who might share with you something you've already experienced, and I think it's safe to be very honest and truthful with them. Okay, that's what I have, Anna. I hope that you like that. Thank you very, very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Hey Cass, what's up? How are you? Thank you for getting an aura reading. I'm pretty sure I've done yours before, but let's go. Energy update. Yeah, I was seeing a lot of yellow, especially towards the crown chakra area. Joy, intellect, optimism, clarity, and it's funny that it's here because I do think that you're actively seeking more positive stuff. It's good. It's like, I want to make sure my For You page is nice. I want to be around positive people. You might not have much tolerance for people that like to drone on, or people who are really just... So I don't want to say that you don't help people who are suffering. You have too much green not to care. You have too much green not to be sweet, kind, and caring. But yeah, it is like I'm surrounding myself with very specific energies is what I was feeling. I also am getting orange. So orange is very common to come out for people that attract attention. So you might notice a lot of strangers talking to you, a lot of people looking at you. Maybe you have some creative talents that you're trying to express more. Whatever it is, people are looking at you. People are paying attention to you. And it could even be like online. People are looking at your online stuff. So very nice. I only had one guide come in and they were green, very healing. And as you say, healing growth, balance, harmony, that jazz. Which, by the way, as you know, I do have an aura cheat sheet if you want to follow along, and I did upload this reading onto the Google Drive if you want to see it and a better resolution. But other than that, yeah, also some blue, some turquoise, empathy, healing speech, creativity, and flow. So just allowing things to happen more. But that green is quite Virgoan in a sense as well, so be careful about perfectionism and stuff like that. But I think that you're actively trying to just let things be, which is nice. Okay, now I usually like to get messages from Spirit and write it on the back and you know, note down anything that was coming to me during the reading. But this is what I wrote down for you. It says, the only thing I got out of this reading was I saw you with 2 granddaughters around the ages 9 and 6 years old, holding a grandson around 9 months old. And then I wrote down a few notes for me about the aura. Wise beyond years, funny, kind, and witty. A very nice aura, very sweet. You do have that that violet, pinky energy, so higher consciousness, awakening, connection. I do think that you have an old soul, an old spirit, and you're wise beyond your years, and I really love it. Okay, thank you, Cass. I hope that you liked it. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone, and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, Caldy, how are you? Thank you so much for getting an aura reading from me. Thank you for your patience. I know, I took way too long. I took so long, but there's so many. I hope you understand, and thank you for being sweet and understanding. As I mentioned before, it does mean a lot to me. I get really nervous. I get really nervous, so I take forever, but I try my best to give good readings to people. Sorry, enough of me being nervous. Let's get into your reading. So I will say lots of blues, and blue represents responsibility, loyalty, and inner strength. There's lots of turquoise, which is empathy, healing speech, creativity, and flow. It felt like you were waiting for something. It felt like you were waiting to get yourself out of a specific energy before you take action on something that feels like your inner talent, your inner strength. For example, let's say that you are really, really good at painting, or you're really, really good at, I don't know, chess. But you don't have the support that you need, you don't have the independence that you need, or the money, or something like that. And so you're just sort of waiting for an opportune moment. I'm not mad at it. Not mad. I do think that there are always things in our current reality that we can be doing to get us closer to the life that we want. So don't forget that. You know, you might feel pushed to be seen more, feel pushed to get out more and do stuff like that, but it's hard when we don't have the support that we need. That's the only thing about the blue I wanted to say. Where did I get the talent that we're sort of hiding from people? The yellow. The yellow. It says joy, intellect, optimism, clarity, and talent. So you have something you're very good at. You know, you might not even be privy to it. A lot of times blues are wonderful at motivational speaking. They're wonderful at writing. They are very good at storytelling. You know, maybe you're gonna be the next what's his name, Matt Mercer, the D&D guy. Stuff like that. Now, there is purple here, and this means intuition, spirituality, and psychic awareness. And notice how there's sort of like a protective shield around it. All the answers are going to be inside of you, not outside of you, and I think that you know this. You know, it's possible that you, not to say you're not into readings, obviously you got an aura reading from a psychic, but I think that even you know and understand that what I say should be taken inward. You know, that's something you need to feel out for yourself. Everybody's psychic, just you are psychic, and I think realizing what it is that your soul is trying to tell you is going to require some inner work, maybe some shadow work, maybe some meditation, stuff like that. And so don't be afraid of those things. Try to look inward is all I wanted to say there. Now, I did take some notes and, you know, kind of touched on a few things. And these are your guides, by the way. And this is something that they told me we'll talk about in a minute. It says you need more peace. You need unconditional love, safety, and calm. And the reason why is, so you're surrounded by very large, loud energies that may overstimulate you. Maybe you're around stressful parents, or maybe you're around stressful roommates, whatever the case is, or maybe it's just the news, whatever it is, there's a little bit of like overstimulation happening. That's okay. Like I said, I see you sort of trying to protect your energy from all that. It's working. You said very smart. They said you're very smart, intelligent, and detail-oriented. You're very keen on very specific subjects. Like you have a lot of knowledge on certain things. And I also wrote, you may find yourself wanting to be smaller, but remember that there's nothing wrong with taking up space. Okay, that's what I have, Claudia. I hope that you enjoyed that. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. We'll see you later. Thank you. Hi, Christian. Thank you so much for getting a reading from me, and thank you for your patience. I hope you're well. How are you doing? Things good? How's the weather? Alright, let's talk about your reading. If you want to follow along, I did take a more, high-res picture and I uploaded it on the Google Drive. It's in the description. I also have an aura cheat sheet if you want to follow along, and yeah, let's talk about it. I only saw 2 guides, and these guides felt like people that we've had past lives with. I don't always see that around people. Maybe these energies are going to be coming into the future, or maybe there's people around you that you just know, you just feel you have other lives with, and I just wanted to mention that. But other than that, they are there for you. They're very present for you. One's very intelligent, one's very optimistic. Very optimistic. Now, I took some notes. I should have looked beforehand, but notice how there's some red, and I put some red around the chest. Anxiety, careful not to overthink, overanalyze. So it says thoughts, memory swirling, excuse me, hiccuped. Anxiety / chest pain, worry, needs lots of rest. Try not to drink too much caffeine or coffee, no more Monster energy drinks if you do those. That's all I would say there. If you do have like heart palpitations, or if you notice like your blood pressure like rises very quickly due to stress, be careful of that. You might have a history in your not that I'm a doctor, by the way. You might have a history in your family of people that have like heart issues, or that have had strokes, or they've had heart stuff like that. So take care of your hearts. Take care of that energy. It felt very stimulated. I just wanted to mention it out of love and concern. Okay. You're being protected from certain information unintentionally. Look forward to some... news. I can't read my handwriting. Some news that may shock you / make you uncomfortable, but don't worry, it's important for your growth to know the truth. You're highly intelligent and particular about your interests. You're honest and blunt. You're kind and tender under the right conditions. You're hardworking and deeply intuitive and thoughtful when it comes to your family and friendships. And your gift is devotion. Isn't that sweet? They told me you're a very devoted person. And when you love someone wholeheartedly, ardently, with your whole ass, not just half of it. So this is someone who says, all right, you're my person and I choose you. So when it comes to love, you might be very particular, but for the right reason. You want somebody that will fight for you and you'll fight for them and you'll honor them. It reminds me of, you might have been, honestly, Christian, I wouldn't be surprised if you've had any past lives as knights, or like as a Roman. Maybe you're like interested in Roman history. I don't know why. That popped into my mind. I just saw it. I saw a knight in particular though, as in like a, excuse me. It felt like a French knight. Isn't that funny? I started choking. So sometimes, you don't have to believe me, you can think I'm crazy. Sometimes they say that if you start choking during a spiritual reading, it means that there's something around that doesn't want to get out. Which is so weird. I haven't choked this entire recording, but here we are. Maybe there's some past life trauma and stuff, because we did mention past life. Maybe there's some past life trauma in regards to being a knight. I don't know if you're like had any knight dreams. Maybe you're obsessed with knights and obsessed with like swords and stuff. I know that's very common, but especially for men, if you are one. I don't like to assume people's genders, but that came in. All right. Okay. Thank you very much, Christian. I hope that you like that. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hey, Sondercat. How are you? Thank you so much for getting an aura reading. I'm pretty sure I've done yours before, but here we are. I can't remember all of a sudden. But here we are. And yeah, I've got something to say. We had 3 guides come through, which, by the way, if you want to follow along with the colors, as you know, I do have the aura cheat sheet up on the Ko-fi. It's free. You can download it, you know, do whatever you want. And I also have the more HD version of the reading, because I know I don't have the best camera. I know I mentioned that earlier, but I just like to remind people, and I hope you're well, by the way. I hope that you're healthy. You're eating, you're sleeping, all that fun stuff. I did take some notes, I did, and they had mentioned that your regeneration during sleep is healing your heart. And I remember, because I did this one, that's right, I did this yesterday, or I guess a couple of days ago now. And they said a relationship you let go of is healing your energy massively. It will take time for you. It will take time, and you've been patient, but they will be a distant memory soon, one that does not trigger you. So, you know, give it like 4-5 months and they won't pop into your mind as much if that's the case. And it could have to deal with like a reoccurring memory. Maybe there's something embarrassing popping up. They just mentioned that. And if that hasn't happened recently, you know, you might feel called to let go of a relationship soon. That's not a bad thing, by the way. Sometimes we need to take a pause, but I just wanted to mention that's what I was seeing in my mind. Now, we have 3 active guides coming in. You know, they're playing a part in our life currently. One's very joyous and optimistic. One's very protective and very talented at their protection, by the way. Or at least, you know, funny, you know, now that I'm actually focusing on the energy, it feels like they're kind of protective and training. It's like they're learning from this energy, which is interesting. And then we have this very sweet, very teary energy, and it felt like they were, I don't know why, it felt like they were a couple. It felt like they were very, very close. Now, other than that, we also have some green, and as you know, green is very healing, very, very kind, very empathetic, and we have well-intentioned, caring, empathetic, thoughtful, funny, charismatic, and open-minded. Sometimes we struggle to make big decisions, procrastinate. A lot of orange too. A lot of people I see with orange are very funny. They're very silly. They're very goofy. They're fun to be around. I also think that you have a very pure heart, very pure-hearted and well-intentioned. Be careful. Sometimes you might say things that hurt people's feelings, especially with our jokes. I don't know why. I got that energy as well. So, you know, just slow things down. Try to gauge the room before you say something if you can. And if you can, that's okay. Sometimes we're not meant for everybody. Okay, we also have some blues and some purples, specifically this blue, so communication, truth, calm, and expression. So there's an intention around trying to be more level-headed and trying to think things through. You might be really thinking about, like, what do I want to say to this person? How do I word this message and stuff like that? This is from the 7th. And yeah, and the purple's very much in touch with our intuition and spirituality and psychic awareness, but that felt much more sort of inherent. Okay, that's what I have, Thundercat. Thank you very much. Good luck with everything you are endeavoring, and remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye. Hi there. How are you? Thank you so much for getting a reading from me. If you want to follow along, I do have the aura cheat sheet that has all the color meanings, all the positive ones. I actually really need to make one that has like the negative ones too. That does exist, and if I see those, I'll let you know. I did take notes, by the way, and we'll go through that. But I noticed that we're very much connecting to our spirit more. And I say this because violet was one of the very first colors that I saw, and it was beaming right on up. And so you might be feeling very pulled in certain directions. You might be called towards taking certain decisions and paths and trusting that more. Realizing that things are lining up. If you're seeing angel numbers, there's sort of this awakening energy, and I like it. I will say energy does feel a little bit small, a bit uneven, and so if you're feeling very emotional or tired or exhausted, that could be why. This is from the 7th, by the way. It can be stress at times, but other than that, the colors were very beautiful, very beautiful, very healthy, as in I do think that you are trying your best to be expressive and trying your best to be authentic and caring. We had green, and green is about someone who's very healing. Not the most prominent color. The most prominent was this blue, and blue is about being very responsible and loyal, having inner strength. We had some purple as well, so intuition and spirituality. But to be honest, the purple felt felt more like 8th house energy. I felt like and that's like Scorpio energy, transformation and rebirth. So let's get into what I was downloading while we were doing your reading. So number 1, you might have a very active imagination. Remember how I said you might be pulled in certain directions, knowing you needed to take action on certain things, stuff like that. And this is daydreaming, inspired, intuitive, and creative. And Scorpio 8th house energy, crave for change and inner transformation. Beware of burnout and exhaustion. Whenever we're going through this sort of Scorpio 8th house energy, which I think you're the like 3rd person I saw, we might just be in that mode. So, you know, bear with it. It could just be the season. You'll find that you're more tired and you're sleepy and you're exhausted and you're getting overstimulated faster and you're feeling like, oh man, I don't have time for certain things. That's what that means, okay? It means that we're starting to change, we're starting to shift, and that's okay. It's actually good. It's preferable. It means we're maturing. Now, biggest saying that we had pulled for you was that you're trusting almost to a fault, but you're learning how to have up better boundaries. I think that you see the good in people first, and it takes you a little bit of convincing to realize when someone isn't best for you, which is interesting because you're so intuitive. It's like you know when somebody's really not a good person, but you try to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like you choose to be trusting, and that can sometimes bite you, but you know, that's something that we're exploring right now. I also saw the Ace of Wands, the 8 of Wands, and the Death card. And like I said, yeah, once again, letting go, being inspired to take action, and the Death card has changed. So more Scorpio cards. And it says, no guides made present today. It doesn't mean they're not there, which is funny because as soon as I wrote this, I had one pop up. And you might notice that your guides are taking a step back right now. That's so that you can go through this change. That is so that you can make a shift. It doesn't mean they're not there. They are. I just think that they're sort of taking a step back. And they're like, they've got this. They're doing good. Okay. That's what I have there. You're last. Oh my goodness. Woo. Woo. That was 5 days of work. And I'm very thankful for the work, by the way. And I hope it was a good experience. Thank you so much. Good luck. Excuse me, it's the truth. With everything you are endeavoring, it comes. And remember that you're never alone and you are loved. See you later. Bye-bye.